we're tired of getting our quarterback hurt and we want to run the ball real well, how about we fix the offensive line with the best lineman in this draft class, Kelvin Banks, University of Texas. And I led that intentionally with an opinion piece there. I do think it's the best offensive lineman in this draft class. And good news for you, Jesse, is that it will also lead to the debate of how long are arms and how tall are people and where is he going to play. Because he played left tackle at the University of Texas, and some people are going to play him at guard in the NFL, and some will try to play him at left tackle. But I love me some Kelvin Banks. He's my favorite offensive lineman in this draft class. If he went at number 12 overall to the Cowboys, I would bring him into camp, and I would say line up at left tackle.
Sure.
Unless Tyler Guyton looks like he's had a nice summer, then go play right guard. Is that a weird thing to do if I'm picking a guy at number 12 overall, to not be dead set on where I'm lining him up?
I think so. I think so. I think if you pick him at 12, you make the decision today. You're playing left tackle. Tyler Guyton, you're going to play right guard or have some swing tackle position, maybe a little bit of right tackle as well. But if you pick him this year, you make the decision that he's going to get the first dibs at left tackle.
Well, I love him. Like, Kelvin Banks is a guy that was he had some of the questions about him, because this is what we do before the combine. We start guessing at where guys might come up short. Like, are his arms long enough? And then they were. Is he tall enough? There was talk that maybe he's not even 6'3". He was 6'5". So he's 6'5". The arms are long enough. But if you are not a full-on pterodactyl with the smoothest feet ever, then we're just going to move everybody to guard. That's what we're going to do. Nobody gets to stay at tackle. Kelvin Banks could stay at tackle. But I also think that he could be a really good guard, because a lot of tackles, I feel like the way that they are able to move, like Kelvin Banks, one of my favorite things is flexibility, which is a weird thing to say about offensive linemen, I think. But even in his stance, you can tell, like, okay, that's a 320-pound guy that has no problem being in a squat and bending and generating power or whatever from these positions. Because a lot of guys you're watching, they're offensive linemen. They're gigantic men. It's like shuffle, but I'm up here. To see the guys who can really move like that and get the job done, I think it's really important. And I think Banks moves like that. And it helps him as a run blocker. When you're able to be down there and uncoil into somebody, now we're moving people in the run game. And that's why I think that he could project to guard, but he could also be a tackle, whatever you think the Cowboys need. And the answer is they need.
They do need in the offensive line. And if you want to win, it starts with the offensive line. But you think about it just for a tiny second. If you have a guy in all the traits that he has, and I think the most important thing is when you're talking about the experience, 3-year starter. That means there's a ton of reps that he's gotten that you can go and watch him playing that position.
And to show up at 18 or 19 at UT and be a stud,
right?
That's pretty good.
And one of the things that we kind of got turned off with last year with Tyler Guyton was, left tackle, he has all these traits that could be potentially really good for him. Not a lot of games played.
Banks was better when he was 19 than Guyton.
Not a lot of games played. And that matters. That matters for the skill ability, for the confidence ability, for all of those things, putting tools in your toolbox. But when you look at the 3 years of him being able to start at that position and he meets all the measurables, I think about a guy at left tackle, and then I have my left guard. I can literally have the best left side of an offensive line in the league. We're talking about I can go Kelvin Banks and Tyler Smith on the left side. The confidence that gives your quarterback to know I'm pretty secure out here on the left-hand side. I'm not worried about my blind side being impacted at all. The run game, hey, we can make our run game go left a lot. We can counter off that and come back right. And the thing is, the also thing you talked about the flexibility. I remember, watching all year long, Micah Parsons, one of the best pass rushers in the league. You know who he has trouble with? When he has to go up against the cat from Philadelphia, the right tackle from Philadelphia.
Lane Johnson.
You know why? Lane Johnson's big. Lane Johnson's physical. Lane Johnson's athletic.
You're not stuck up and down.
He's dancing with him, right? And so now if I get a guy like Kelvin Banks, the guy who can dance on that left-hand side, then I'm not worried about the likes of guys like Myles Garrett and Khalil Mack and all the other pass rushers that may come that the Cowboys may face, because I know I have a left tackle athletic enough, strong enough, experienced enough to go out there and dance with these jokers out there, because they're showing them pads 1 second and then they're vanishing underneath those tackles blocks the next second. But Kelvin Banks, I think, would fit perfectly on the Cowboys offensive line.
What I wonder about and maybe worry about is that the Cowboys just won't do it. Right? Like when I look at you're picking at number 12, who are the 12 best players in the draft? I think if you tell me that the Ohio State left tackle's knee situation is fine, I think 3 of the best 12 players in the draft are probably offensive linemen. So I think there's a decent chance the best player on your board is an offensive lineman. Do you think they will consider it? Like, I think they say we used a first-round pick last year on a left tackle. We're not doing it. And would they use 12 on a guard? I don't know. Like, I worry that it's a thing that we say, you know, the best way to make this team better? Try to upgrade left tackle and try to upgrade right guard. That's the quickest shortcut. And they say, yeah, we signed a guy to compete with Hoffman, and we used a first-round pick last year. And I worry that's where their head is because they have other needs, and they go, we're okay.
Yeah, I just think in a copycat league, you look across and you go, man, the Super Bowl champions, you know what they had?
Offensive line.
They had a really good offensive line. And that, to me, is the start of you being able to protect the $60.
What's the one reason that the Chiefs lose Super Bowls when they do? Their O-line's not good enough.
Why can't Joe Burrow get deep into the playoffs again?
O-line.
O-line. You know, like the teams who have good offensive line give themselves a chance each and every week. And I think the Cowboys, with the weapons that they could potentially bring in, you already have Dak, you already have CeeDee Lamb. I think solidifying and showing that offensive line gives them the best opportunity to get to where they want to. They want to compete. You don't compete if you can't protect.
Now earmuff it for me just for a second. If you could just earmuff it for me. And here's the best thing. If you drafted Kelvin Banks at number 12 overall and it turned out, just an okay tackle, you could put him at guard and he would go kick everyone's ass.
And I'm not mad at that.
It's my backup plan.
It's good to have.
It's in my back pocket.
I say eliminate the contingencies, but hell, have one contingency plan.
One contingency. Here is our very own draft expert and guru, the great Fran Duffy, on Texas left tackle Kelvin Banks.
All right, time to talk about Kelvin Banks Jr., the left tackle from the Texas Longhorns, and a 3-year starter. Won a boatload of awards this year as one of the top linemen in college football. This guy's got excellent size. He's 6'5", 315 pounds. He's got some size to him. He's also really athletic. He's explosive out of his stance. He's got lateral quickness. His feet are impressive in pass protection. He's got dancing bear qualities at the tackle spot. Now, he's only played left tackle, so the lack of proven positional versatility, that will ding him first in the eyes of some scouts and some coaches. But if you're trying to project a true pass-protecting left tackle, he's got all the traits to be able to do that on the blind side. If you're a team that needs that left tackle right now to have early success, you're leaning on him to try and make a playoff run, probably want to look elsewhere, or you might want to just have to live with the some of the ups and downs. But Kelvin Banks Jr., certainly one of the more intriguing prospects at tackle in this draft.
Sign up to be a diehard. You'll get access to all of Fran's draft content, rankings, scouting reports, all of those things. And we humbly request that in the comments on this video, you say, who is your favorite person named Banks? Have a great day.